I learned writing this book that about 90% of people believe that they have a book inside of them. Only 2% ever write the book. So if you've got something on the inside of you, get it out there.
Without Fear of Her Future podcast is for women who are passionately pursuing financial freedom using multiple streams of income and real estate to accomplish their goals. We are here to empower you to be brave, dream big, and design a life that you love that inspires others to do the same. I'm your co-host, Andrea Engstrom, a real estate investor and business coach and co-founder of the Partnership for Realtors. And I'm here with my co-host, Tresa Todd, founder of the Women's Real Estate Investors Network and author of a best-selling book, Without Fear of Her Future. Over the past 2 years, Tresa has had nearly 200,000 join her masterclass, where she teaches women how to become successful real estate investors. Tresa, today, I'm so excited. We are talking about your new book. So congratulations on the success of your new book, Without Fear of Her Future. I'm so excited about this because it's all about your story and what you teach in the masterclass. And that's how we met. That's how I met you, is I joined your masterclass.
Yes.
So that class and your story has absolutely changed my life, and I'm so grateful to you for that. And I know thousands of women can say the same thing. So tell us about the book.
Oh my goodness. It just feels so good to have it out in the world. I'm so proud of it. And so as most listeners may know, we just came off of our very first WREIN live event that was crazy successful. So I went to bed on Sunday night just being excited about the event and we launched the book at the event. And then I woke up on Monday morning and my daughter-in-law had sent me a text telling me that my book had hit the #1 bestseller in the category of real estate investing. And oh my gosh, I was just overjoyed. I'm still just I cannot even believe it. So honored.
So exciting. I saw her post that morning myself, and I was just jumping out of my skin, excited for you. So, Tresa, tell us, who is this book for?
It is for any woman that wants to change her life. If she is looking for financial freedom, if she wants to be able to create generational wealth, leave a legacy for her family, all of those are the big things. But, some of the ladies, they just want a retirement plan, or they just want to be able to pay for their kids' college. And so it's for any woman who just really wants to change where she is financially.
Awesome. Now, why is Without Fear of Her Future such a timely message for women today? Why do we need to hear this right now?
Well, first of all, I believe that there has never been a better time in history to be a woman than right now. I mean, the world is our oyster, and we have to go after it. It is not a time to play small. It's not a time to be insecure. It's not a time to hide behind our fears. It is a time for us to take action, to be brave, and to get out there and do the things and make impact. First of all, the world needs us. And so this is a way that I like to say that an average woman, and that's what I feel. I was an average woman in the medical field who had no idea that I would be able to invest in real estate. And so I want this book to be in the hands of every woman, and so that they just know that they do have an option.
Tresa, what are some of the key strategies for investing that you cover in your book?
Okay, so I cover flipping. Okay, how to make a lot of flipping money. So I love that. And I just show the tips that the average girl who's watching HGTV wants to flip a property but does not have these 15 little secrets. It's a game changer. So we talk a lot about flipping in the book, as well as acquiring rentals. And that is how you build generational wealth. And then my personal favorite is short-term rentals, because I call that now and later money. That is not only creating generational wealth, but that's also creating that now money, the cash flow that you get to spend every single month. So those are the basics that we are teaching in the book.
Awesome. Well, tell us a little bit more about how is it that an average woman like you described, just somebody like me and you who, weren't successful real estate investors when we learned this stuff, how do you teach them specifically, like, for example, the short-term rentals? What is it that you share that's going to be different than what they could just learn watching HGTV?
Well, first of all, we are going to teach you a formula that is imperative that you know when you go out to purchase these properties. Because you don't want to buy these, paying full price. I mean, there is actually a formula, and if you can purchase a property using this formula, it pretty much guarantees you that you can be successful. So the formula, and just all the specialized knowledge. How do you use other people's money? How do you, when you're flipping a property, how do you pay those contractors? I teach that you never pay a contractor before the actual work is done. So just lots of little secrets that the average person does not know that could either, what they would cause them to walk away without a profit at all, or a whole lot of work with a very little profit.
When I first watched the Without Fear of Her Future Masterclass that you teach, and I understand, all the things in the book are inspired by what you've been teaching for years now.
Yes.
But one of the most exciting things that I love that you share about short-term rentals specifically is the idea of converting the garage into a bunk room. When I heard that in your master class and you share that in your book, it's such an exciting. It's like a completely different way to think about use of space, and most people are not doing things like this. And you call it that boutique style of short-term rentals. I love it. All right. Well, what would you say is the most powerful thing that you teach about in the book?
Well, first of all, you have to have the specialized knowledge. You have to have you have to know the strategies and how you use other people's money. But also, I teach a lot about overcoming fear and hopefully inspiring women that we can do hard things and that we are capable of so much more than what we typically think we are. The sky is the limit when we are willing to get out of our comfort zone and go for some big things.
Preach. I love that. That's probably, for me, that was probably one of the biggest things that I hear women say when they hear from you and that they are inspired by from you is this overcome fear, this we can do hard things. And your story is so powerful because you have this average person story who literally what you did is overcome fear. And so I love that you're passing that on. Tell me about how this book is part of how you are living a legacy.
Well, I am, in the book, I tell, how I started and knocked on 57 doors before I got my very first deal. And I love to share that I wasn't anything special. I didn't have some supernatural talent that I was this overnight success. I had to do exactly what everybody else did. And you have to stay consistent and overcome the fear and do the hard things. And so that is part of what I am as passionate about teaching the strategies as I am helping women overcome that fear and convincing them that they can do hard things. Because here's the truth. You can learn the strategies a lot of places. But I don't think that there is a very space has been created where you can not only learn the strategies and learn the specialized knowledge, but you can also have a space, I like to call it a safe space, where women are encouraging and inspiring and impacting one another. And that is what I want my legacy to be all about, is impact. The impact that I leave behind for my family and for my friends and for, of course, all of the women that I can hopefully inspire in some kind of way.
Absolutely. So even though most of our listeners are working on building their legacy through real estate investing, through what you teach, I've also heard from several women that writing a book is one of the most legacy creating goals that many of our listeners have who want to make a difference in the world. So let's talk a little bit about this process of writing the book. What was the process for you like? What did you do?
So for me, I am not a writer. I am a talker. I am not a writer. So I had someone kind of ghostwrite this book for me. And so I did all of the talking and she did all of the typing, which made it so simple because I was able just to tell my story. And then somebody else edited out all the, silly things that I said or all the things. And so it was super, super easy. We just started out thinking, we literally had this board and we had little sticky notes and we thought all the things. I wrote things, everything I wanted in the book, and we stuck it on this board. And then we tried to place them. We came up with titles of the book, and then we placed each one of these things under the correct title. And so we had all of that done in one day. And then,
wow.
Yeah, in one day. And then we were able just to, create the book. And so it was a super simple process, to be honest.
That's incredible. And I think that's really encouraging to people who are listening to this, who have in their mind that writing a book is something that will take 20 years and, the lifelong grind and that they're going to be their opus or something. But you're making it sound really simple. So what advice do you have for the aspiring authors who are listening to us today?
So if you are a writer, because a lot of people want to write their own story, and I mean, that's fantastic. First of all, I'm just not. And then second of all, I didn't have time. I just had to make this happen and make it happen quick. And I knew that I had something that I wanted to put in a book to put out into the world. And I was passionate about that. So first of all, Andrea, what I preach is find somebody else that's an expert. I am an expert real estate investor. I'm not an expert book writer. So why should I bog myself down trying to figure out how to write a book? Find somebody that is, already is an expert at that and have them help you through that process. And so that's exactly what I did. And I'm so thankful for that.
Awesome. Well, tell us what's next for you, Tresa. Do you have plans for another book in the future? What's next?
I am about to tell you something that probably I don't think you know this. Nobody knows this. I actually have already written another book prior to this that I never released into the world. And it's called Grace Under Chaos. And it is more of my personal story about raising my kids. And I wrote that book the very first year as a real estate investor. And so I wrote the book, I finished the book, and then it never seemed like the right time to launch the book. And so it's just like sitting there on hold. And so probably in maybe about a year, I want everybody to be able to consume this, but probably I will launch that book in next year.
Oh, I love that. That's such a timely topic as well. And I love that would be what follows it. And, something I've noticed in getting to know women that are in the network, and even at the live event that we recently hosted, we asked, one of our speakers asked the room to stand up, the people in the room to stand up. If you have gone through a divorce, if you have been a single mama, if you have had your life look like taking care of someone in your family who was sick, all those challenging situations. And what you teach us is that it doesn't matter what those situations are, you can overcome. And so I love this idea for your next book, because I think the women who are attracted to this idea of without fear of her future, because many of us have been in situations where we have been in total fear of our future, and we said, never again am I going to be in that situation where I feel like I'm completely out of control. And so the concept of grace under chaos is super exciting to me, and I think it will be to women in the future. So thank you for giving us a super top secret thing to look forward to in the future. And we're going to hold you to it. You said it out loud now, so we're going to be excited to watch for that. All right, Tresa. So we like to ask our guests for 3 takeaways. So today I'm going to ask you this. So what are the 3 things that you would advise an investor or entrepreneur who is looking to be brave or grow or is perhaps feeling stuck where they are?
Oh, wow. Well, first of all, I am going to just talk about personal development and challenging yourself to do some of the smaller things and be consistent with doing small things, write down maybe 2 or 3 things that you want to do on a regular basis. Maybe it's get healthy, making your bed every day, reading for 20 minutes a day, and then just show up for yourself in that area, and it's going to grow your confidence in yourself. And as you grow your confidence in yourself, you're like, oh, if I can do this, then I should be able to do that. And so I believe that it was the small things that got me where I am today. So that would be number 1. Then number 2 is invest in yourself in every way possible. Invest in yourself. Attend business seminars. Listen to podcasts. Read books. Grow your mind. Grow emotionally, spiritually. Just become. I mean, we can become any woman that we want to become. We don't have to just be who we are. We can have this ideal of the kind of woman that we want to become, and then grow into that. And so that takes being intentional and very purposeful about that. So investing in yourself is huge. And then third, what are you passionate about? And then chase that thing. What are you truly passionate about? If you've got a book inside of you, I learned writing this book that about 90% of people believe that they have a book inside of them. Only 2% ever write the book. So if you've got something on the inside of you, get it out there. And I'm always saying, be brave, dream big. So do the thing. If you can imagine the book, imagine the cover, imagine the content that you want in it. And then if you're a writer, just begin to write it yourself. If you're not a writer, then find somebody that can help you do that. But whether it's writing a book, become a real estate investor, building a business, whatever is in your heart to do, take the steps to do it. Because if you never take the first step, it will never come to fruition.
Oh, beautiful. You inspire me every day, Tresa. Thank you so much for sharing that. Congratulations on the success of your book launch. We are so proud of you and so excited for what you have coming next. On behalf of Tresa Todd and the Women's Real Estate Investors Network, this is Andrea Engstrom encouraging you to be brave and dream big.